Test.
Hello.
Mic is on for phone. All right, I'll turn it down. Call meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
Test.
Okay, roll call.
Eileen Dunn. Donna Mosier. Paula DePace. Rick Agler.
Here.
Bill Heidenreich.
Here.
Barry Burgess.
Here.
Lemaine Eifert. Here. Ed Weiner.
Here. Proof of notice, Jack?
Notice posted Monday morning.
A disposition of prior meeting minutes. Have a motion.
I move that we accept the minutes. Wow.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Treasurer's report. Is there a motion?
That's filed.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Manager's report.
That's probably quick there.
All right, we did so well last month that maybe we can top it.
Starting on December 29th, Bandit Fitness performed their monthly service on the gym equipment.
Use the mic.
Can't hear my loud mouth. Test. On December 29th, Bandit Fitness performed their monthly service on the gym equipment. On January 2nd, I received confirmation email from the county informing me they would be removing the trash piled up against the fence near Spanish Gate that needed replacement. They were very fast. They got out there, removed all the trash that was piled up against the back of the fence, so that's been taken care of. On January 3rd, the maintenance crew, put all of the Christmas decorations back in the maintenance shed, which, let me tell you, several truckloads worth, quite a lot of work. On January 4th, the crew installed sod on the southwest entrance to the clubhouse where it was bare dirt. Mike also installed additional irrigation to cover the area. That was a dirt parking area as you're coming into the parking lot over here. The new propane heater was installed on January 9th. We had a leak in the new plumbing, which they've since repaired. Then we got an error code. It seems to be now working as ordered. As a matter of fact, this morning, even though as cold as it was, the pool was at 88 degrees. Just to let you know that 400,000 BTU heater burns about 4 gallons of propane per hour. So we really don't want to use it unless it's absolutely necessary because it's going to get pretty costly. On January 8th, we found out that the cable for one of the cameras that overlooks the pool deck is bad between the camera on the pole and the building itself. That's the camera that's on the pole over by the pool pump house that overlooks the pool deck, looking towards the bathrooms and hot tub. We lost that camera. Now, I've since talked with Mark, and he's talked with Mike. We can do the trenching, getting under the sidewalk, getting it all over there. And then the camera guy will come in, run the cable, and install the new camera. I just wanted to ask if the board wants to take the man hours and the expense to go ahead and replace this camera, or just let it go.
What does the camera cover?
It covers from the far side of the pool deck over by the pool pump house. It shoots that way, clean across the deck. So you get the pool bathhouse, you get the hot tub, you get the pool, you get both sides of the deck. It's a pretty wide angle of the camera.
Do we need to do a motion for this or?
The area that's covered, is that overlapped by other cameras or don't we know?
Not at the same angle that would give you the equivalent coverage now.
What? It's not a dollar expense, it's a time expense, you're saying?
Mostly labor and time to trench it out and get on, tunnel underneath the sidewalks to get it from the pole to the building.
I don't really think there's a question on that. We absolutely need it.
Okay, all right, just want to know.
Anyone else?
I move that we, any other comments for Eileen? Yes. Okay.
All right.
I move that we go ahead and do the project as
Okay,
indicated by the manager.
Eileen, second.
I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
okay, on January 8th, the fence supplies that were approved at the last meeting were delivered for the Spanish Gate retention area. So far, the crew has torn out some of the old fence and actually set a few of the posts. Right now, they're fighting access problems because of all the construction that's going on the other side, making it difficult for our guys to get in there and get to it. But they're working on it. Mark's working on another angle of attack from a different road that they put in over there. Because trying to access from our side, the sides of the retention area are so steep, you really can't get the carts down in there. You can't get the trucks down in there. You really need to approach it from the high flat side. So that's the delay we're having right now, but we are working on it. On January 12th, the roofers finished the final touch-ups on the roof. I'm looking to install new gutter guards as the old ones were falling apart as the roofers were taking them off. Actually got the contractor coming this afternoon to give me a proposal on that. The roof is now complete. The roofer will be back this Friday to complete his wind mitigation report so that we can turn that over to our insurance company and hopefully get a break on the cost of the insurance. So far in the past month, we went ahead and replaced all 12 umbrellas. I think the last 6 haven't been unboxed yet, but we're replacing 12 umbrellas because they're all beat up.
Question on the downspouts over on this side where we get a lot of the water. Any thoughts about putting another one or realigning those? Is this metal roof going to cause more water to come faster?
So well, what happened was when they did the work, they took one of the diverters off over here by the back door. So the last time we had a heavy rain, it was just coming down the valley, shooting over the roof. The roofer has since put a diverter back on, and then the rest of it's working fine.
Okay, but I mean, we get heavy rain sometimes. We put a bigger pipe in there to help with.
Well, that
the drainage.
system's functioning fine now, isn't it, Mark? Yep.
I think when we redid everything as far as the flooding, everything was enlarged over there as far as draining, which is taking care of a lot of that
Yeah,
problem.
you have that inline in-deck drain, which drains into a larger pipe underneath that goes out this way and out towards the lake.
I was just wondering with the metal roof, whether.
Well, you're gonna have the same amount of water coming off whether it's metal or shingles. It may be a little smoother and faster with the metal, but it's gonna be the same amount of water.
Okay.
update on the violations there, like I said, we got 6 of them closed. We have 11 new ones. Darlene and Linda were able to work together to manipulate the new system and the old system to produce the letter. So we have a shortcut into the interim until the new system is fully online. LeMay asked today, update on the shuffleboard courts because there was concerns about how they looked. To resurface them professionally would easily be $7,000 to $10,000. We can do it in-house. Mark's explained to me, or for cost of material, roughly $600. And it's on the to-do list. It's just having a matter of time to get to it. I have one other request here. We have an account, a delinquent account that did not pay July 1st senior dues for 2023. They have since received 2 certified delinquency notices and been charged delinquent interest. So $600 has ended up to be $792. They want at least the 9126 waive. I've already told them that, listen, this goes all the way back to July. You know when your fees are due. You didn't respond to the first notice, which they say they didn't get. Well, we sent it to the address of record that we had, which is what we're required to do. They never told us of a different address. So I've told them, I said, I doubt this can happen. And I'm just hoping the board will back me up on this. And like you said, you'd be setting a dangerous precedent for somebody who's been delinquent since July 1 of 23, requesting for waiver of fees.
I also feel you owe your dues. So even if they didn't get a letter, they know they
That's
didn't
what I
pay the
said.
dues.
You know you owe these.
I don't see any reason to forego the fees or let them know.
Any other comment? Motion? I don't know that we need a motion on that. No argument, right? Okay, go ahead.
All right, thank you. And that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
I just want to comment, the roof, I think, is amazing. It just, I think, added so much to the value of the building. It looks great, and they did a great job.
It does
They
look
were
good.
at it every day.
Hopefully it'll outlast.
Yeah,
I'm sure it will.
yes, me
Outlast
too.
us all. Okay, art committee?
Ed Hepper for the Art Committee. We received 16 requests and all 16 were approved for your review.
Okay,
Make a motion that we approve the 16 that were given to us from the art committee.
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you, Ed.
Thanks, Ed. Committee reports. Okay, I have a.
Jerry Beers, Live Oaks. Just want to report that we have our nominating committee, which consists of Connie Ornament, who's the chairperson, Robin Eastman, and Kathy Scott, because we're voting for a president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. So they've been doing their job. Thank you.
Jerry, when does that take place?
March.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else?
Commissioner French Weislich, 7024-13806 for the Finance Committee. The committee has been running along very smoothly with all the documents, and the newer folks are beginning to see the trends for the year and how the expenses are running and those kind of things. We only had a couple of really quick questions. One of them was for Bandit Fitness. We do have the monthly service that we pay for, but they came out to do something and we had an additional service charge. So we were just wondering why.
Okay.
The service, was for an adjustment to a cable for a weight stack where the pinholes were not, the pin wasn't lining up with the weights on the stack. They had to come out and make adjustments to the system to get it to line back up.
So that's not included in the monthly
No, like
service?
if a cable had broken or a weight had snapped in half, that would be covered under the warranty.
Thank you. And the other thing, on the refunds to people that no longer are residing here, most of the documents were in order, but we just had two because we only got the front sheet and it didn't have the amount of the refund written on it to compare with what the check was. But they were two $50 checks. So we're just bringing that up because it's just a slight adjustment. And the committee was also wondering about the cost for fobs when residents have to replace them. Does the $20 cover our costs? Not that we want to make money on people, but just are our costs
Yes,
covered?
yes, that is the cost.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patty. Okay, we have a note from Liz. There's
Did you
no
want
fine
Patty back?
committee, so,
I'm sorry, did you want Patty back?
no, I said, thank you, Patty.
Okay. Anyway, Karen Fritsch for the Better Living Committee, and I've sent you all a report outlining, detailing the health fair. We had over 150 residents. We had 21 vendors and, of course, the committee and also the vendors had one or two people. So we had, I'd say, close to 170 or so come through here. You don't want me to read it, do you, the report? You don't need to. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention is that our committee's gotten together and we're looking at bringing in speakers for different topics. We're looking at the fire department, the police department for like safety issues, and some of the other vendors who we had here have come and said that they would present on different topics for us. The reason I'm bringing it up is if any of the residents or yourselves think of some topics that would be timely and we could try to find a speaker for it, we'd be glad to listen. So just contact one of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Okay. Any other committees? Okay. We need to have, let's see. We'll do this later. Okay. Roofing project update. You kind of already updated us there, right?
Yep.
Veterans Honor Area. An update on that?
We paid the deposit on the memorial. Then what, are we still 5 months out probably before, at least 5 months out before they can deliver. But we did get the deposit in time to save the price because they said granite was going up. So we did get the deposit in there in time. And under the paving update, I talked to our engineer. He's still waiting on his drafter who's been out of town to get the actual final plans together that we can put out the bid.
Okay. Question?
Yeah, are there any changes to our parking lot plan?
The one major one that I can think of is this little driveway that goes from the upper parking lot to the lower parking lot. That little driveway is probably going to be eliminated and shifted over through a pass-through for the first 2 parking spaces between the 2 because of the massive tree roots that are tearing that driveway up. unless you want to demolish those trees and take them down, which would be, and there's huge oaks, it'd be, thousands of dollars to remove them.
Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, that is an important drive because, if you got a truck coming through, they can't come down the other drives and really, without endangering cars. I think we should investigate that a little bit, but I agree with you that we should talk to if those trees have been there for years, the driveway's been there for years and they've lived together. But if we feel, but you can see the bumps, I think there's two of them to go across, which head towards our building, by the way. I can't, who's a tree specialist, an arborist? Maybe we can talk to them and they might tell us, oh, removing that one root will not affect the tree or not. I don't know.
I'm just saying, from my experience dealing with arborists in the past, if you're cutting large roots that close to the tree, you're gonna damage the tree, possibly kill it, and possibly destabilize it, where it might blow over in a storm.
Well, okay, but I think the board needs to see the plans so we know what they're planning to do.
Yeah, that's
Before we,
the whole idea of
before we
the
approve
drafter
it.
putting this thing together. It
All
will
right.
show the changes. It would be a drive-through. It's just the last two parking spaces on the upper and middle parking lot. They would take those two spaces out and make that the drive-through.
Otherwise, just move to the other side of the tree.
Yeah.
Which there may be roots there too.
No, it's up higher. It's up higher on
Okay.
the parking lot itself.
I
Again,
would like to see
let's
the
have the
plan.
plans. I'll present it to the whole board.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions on the parking lot? Okay, moving on.
He's not ready to get bids. Not ready to get bids yet.
No, we're still waiting on the final drafting of the
Okay,
final plans, then it goes to bid.
all right.
Board has approved plans.
Right. Okay, annual meeting date guidelines. Someone addressing this?
Well, Deb has included in your package the timeline, which I'm looking for. Oh, where you go? You should have it in there. It tells you the date of the first notice. Deb just ran that first notice over to the printers yesterday. Here we go. Thank you. We also have to, with according to this, it's on the agenda, calling for volunteers for the election committee. We can do that when we get there. But the first notice is dated February 9th to go out. That's where people are informed of the meeting. They also get the opportunity to receive a candidate form if they so want to desire to run for the board. February 29th is a deadline for those prospective candidates to turn in their information. Candidates night determined by the board, March 7 p.m. It's only necessary if the number of candidates exceeds the number of vacancies that exist. March 7th will be the mailing of the second notice to include the following: the proxy, the ballot, candidate information sheets, blank inner envelope, outer envelope, signature envelope, self-addressed return envelope. This is all by secret ballot. I turned my phone down. I did, I turned it down.
Must be human like the rest of us.
Then on the 29th, we produce a list of eligible voters. People with excessive delinquencies, what have you, are not eligible to vote. April 1, 2024 will be the actual annual meeting. And it starts out, meeting opens, final ballots admitted, meeting recessed, and then reconvened, I believe, at 2 p.m. To discuss the results. election results are announced, then the installation of the new officers, and then an organizational meeting for the board to elect who's who amongst the board. And that would cover that.
Okay, so we just have to approve these dates.
Yes.
All right, the motion will be in order.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, we need to call for volunteers for the election committee. So we'll have a sign-up sheet
It's back here, right?
on the table in the back. What do you think?
Normal. Yeah, I think we need to leave it open at least a couple of weeks. What do you think, Jeff?
Is that normal, Doug, 2 weeks?
Okay,
First,
so if you're interested in serving on the election committee, please sign the paper in the back
You
and
could have.
you will be notified. Probably everybody that puts in for it will be on it.
Not till we know who's on, or we'll wait.
Yeah. Hard to appoint somebody if we don't know who's on the committee. Okay, we also have a call for volunteers for the budget committee. This is a committee that makes recommendations in the budget. This is, they serve prior to the annual meeting and make recommendations for the budget for the following year.
you want me to just describe a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, the budget is not a terrible complex. You have to be a mathematician to do it. Actually, we have a management company that presents us with a proposed budget. And then the committee goes over that proposal in detail. And you check out little things like, how come something that we really want is not there, maybe, or this does not look right. The new roof will last more than 15 years would be an obviously one for this year's budget committee to come up with, because to figure out how much money you put in reserve in every month, you have to know the life of what you got and what the expected replacement cost is at that, the best you can estimate. So it's not, it's pretty logical, it's pretty down and basic, you'll learn a lot, and it's open.
Okay, so jump right in there and put your name on the list and you'll be a budget committee member.
The other thing you have to remember is this review can affect your dues for the year. So if you're interested in finding out why they should go up or whatever, make sure you get on that committee.
Yes, the budget committee makes that recommendation if they should go up or not. Okay, fines and suspensions.
All right, you have a copy of a notice sent out over there to Woodcrest Drive. This is a repeat offender. This is one I had discussed at the last meeting. And I was asked to contact the attorneys whether we could just go straight to fine instead of sending them more notices. And the attorney said, yes, we can go straight to fines due to being a repeat offender. And that we also told them that in the last notices they received, that they would be fined.
Okay, everyone here has a photo. If you look to the left of the fence, between the house and the fence, you will see a boat still there.
I'm sorry, that's a crude copy of black and white, but yes, it's a little boat that's stuck back in there.
See a shadow.
And this is the same gentleman that we've seen the boats in the front of his house. There's been talk about whether or not he's been working on them. This has gone back and forth. I make a motion that we do a one-time fine of $100 to the owner of 8535 Woodcrest Drive. This fine will be voted on and continued as needed. So one-time fine now of $100.
Seconded by Barry. Any discussion on this?
Just like,
Rick?
by one time, we mean he's going to be fined $100. And if he violates this again, we got to go through the other process.
No process. You will be fined again
He'd be fined
$100.
again,
Next
well,
month.
whatever we would decide the next time. But it'd have to come, it'd have to come before the board before any more fine. I think that's fair.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
That was the only fine.
Okay, one other thing we had, Resource is our property management company. They're in the process of changing their system. And so they put a lot of extra work on the girls because of that. But they have a fining system that we are not going to be a part of because we eliminated the 3 notices. So we just have to approve this as far as the board's concerned, that we will still use our current system. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that Timber Oaks retains their fining system as approved by the board.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, other than that, there'd be a motion for adjournment.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, open forum. Dale, go ahead.
Dan Thompson, Hachita Drive. I have 2 questions from earlier. I decided just to wait until open forum. The situation with the camera. Did we have a warranty that ran out? It don't seem like they were that old, the cameras, since we had them put in. Really? Okay. And will it affect that at all if we do the digging? Can they come back and say, well, you know, you're out of luck because you didn't let us do the digging, somebody dug and broke a wire or something?
Go ahead, Jack.
The contractor told me they don't want to do the digging. So all they're gonna do is pull the cable through the new conduit and wire it up.
Oh, okay. So in other words, they approved for us to go ahead and do it.
Yes,
Okay,
they prefer it that way.
okay. I had something else, but I forget what it is. But my main concern is, what are we gonna do now? We're finding people that live here. What about the houses that are empty? Like the one down the street from me that's like 4 years now, sitting there empty, and the bank or whoever owns it, and it's just sitting there empty, rotting away. Is the bank that owns that really paying our dues every month? Or when do we fight them to get the money that they should be paying?
Lemay?
That's ongoing, Gail, and if they have violations, they will be sent letters like everything else, and it goes against the estate. Those are continually.
Because there
watched
is
the
no
same as the
estate.
others.
I mean, the bank took the house back. There was a reverse mortgage on it, and the guy just let it go.
Well, then it would go against.
So can't we get on the bank to tell them this is a deed restricted community and we've got a house sitting there gonna rot away?
The only thing you can do is the fining, nothing more than that.
And we can do a lien against it.
Yeah, the bank owns it, so they don't really care. We've had houses sit, in Pennsylvania, where I'm from, we've had houses sit so long, years.
Well,
I don't care.
I know somebody that lived in a remote house for 5 years, but this is a deed restricted community. If we're getting fined and stuff for doing things wrong, I don't see why a bank should be able to let houses just sit there and do whatever they want.
And we don't allow that. We still do, all the fines and the liens and everything we would do as if someone was owned the house and was living there. So that's something the bank would have to settle when they
And,
sell
and
the
if
house.
if the bank decides to put a for sale sign out, who's gonna have to pay all those back fines? The
The
person
bank.
that buys the
The
house.
bank at settlement.
Rick?
Just, so you're aware of, when we talk about it's the bank has it. Normally, the bank does not take over the title. They just put the lien on. And then they add all their expenses and all that to it. And the title normally does not go into the bank's name ever, really. There's exceptions to that when the bank has to. Just so you understand, that's why you don't see, Timber Oak suing the bank. You have to sue the property owner, whoever owns the property.
Yeah, but they gave it.
Probably, they did, very seldom you see a title go to a bank. I'm just telling you in practical,
No, he may
So it
have,
is.
he
All right.
may have lied to me, but he said that. they
you need to
turned it over
analyze
the
each
bank.
individual situation.
He said he has nothing.
He may have signed it over to the bank, but the bank never filed for title.
So it's not, if the bank didn't file for title and it's not on county record, it's still legal.
Nothing happens till they put it in foreclosure.
Go ahead.
There's several deed restriction violations in Monterey. And from my driveway, I open my garage door and I can take a picture of a blue tarp in a neighbor's yard. It's been there for 2 weeks now. I don't understand why there's a tarp in the middle of the yard. This is a deed restricted HOA and residents live there, so it's not like the bank owns it. Everyone that's ever gotten a letter should, don't you apply the rules equally? I've got 5 letters for sign and some flags. Wow, major deed restriction violations. This is a whole tarp covering, I don't know what's under that? Rats, like, is that a rat den, a spider den, bug nest? What is it? Somebody's like, I don't know, what is that, a dirt bike? What's under that? It shouldn't be there, it's deed restricted.
Do you have an address on that?
Yes, I do.
No.
It's Paula
That is
Pace's
not
house.
her job. It is not our job to
It's
take what she
Paula.
says either.
She took an oath. You took an oath. Every veteran, law enforcement
When I see your
officer,
case
or medical
notes going
professional
around-
should be mad at you breaking your oath. You broke an oath.
Tanya, before you leave, I'd like to say something. Please keep my property out of your mouth and my name. You are creating a nuisance in the neighborhood, and this I directed Jerry Binkley, Tanya's husband. Please get her in check. She's doing nothing but destroying the neighborhood. Section 8, causing a nuisance.
I've had 5 letters.
Good.
Me and my husband.
Good.
For what?
Or deliberately putting out signs you know are not allowed. That's why you get the letters.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
I'll take a vote. Votes don't mean anything anymore. You took an oath to sit on that board.
Meeting is over.